49 outdoor patio ideas that will excite and inspire you. The material that you use to create your outdoor patio depends partly on your tastes, but also partly on practical considerations. Most homeowners choose hard surfaces, such as the Flagstone patio shown in this picture. But as we will see later, there are some instances where a hard surface is not necessarily the best option. Another popular material for patios is brick. They may not offer the dazzling appearance of a flagstone patio, such as in the prior slide, but one of the virtues of building a brick patio, assuming that you are doing the job yourself, is that the work is relatively easy for beginning DIYers. Some brick patterns are easier to lay than others, as will be discussed in the following slides. Early spring is magical, but a greater number of fantastic plants come into bloom later in spring. This scene shows two such plants. While a number of long-blooming perennials can see you through the summer if you are patient, there is nothing like annual flowers, such as the geraniums in this slide, for quick, inexpensive, constant color. Grow them in a flower bed within view of your patio and/or in pots right on the patio, according to your desires. This spread of tea and dessert treats suggests a wonderful time on the summer patio, doesn't it? And the flowers on the table are a nice touch. But bees can be drawn to those flowers. And those pesky yellow jackets are sure to horn in on the desserts in late summer, claiming their share. Make sure you know how to treat insect stings, just in case your flesh gets in the way of one of those stingers. A little bit of light goes a long way toward making the patio a great destination on sultry summer nights. Your outdoor lighting need not be fancy. The simple string lights in this image work just fine. A trickier issue is dealing with mosquito pests, especially if you are a proponent of natural mosquito control. We will see one way of dealing with the problem in the next slide. Sitting around the flame gushing out of a portable fire pit helps keep mosquitoes at bay so that you are better able to enjoy those wonderful evenings on the summer patio. We will see another major use for fire pits later in this presentation. Tropical plants say summer, and you can make use of them on and around your patio even in the north if you take them indoors during the winter months. Tropical flowers such as dahlia bulbs color up the patio splendidly. But do not forget the tropicals that function as foliage plants, such as elephant ears. They may not provide magnificent flowers, but their large leaves furnish a terrific background for the showier specimens on your patio throughout the summer. A versatile tropical plant popular now on patios is the famous papyrus plant. Use it in a water feature or simply grow it in a container. The fall patio has its own allure. The growing season may be winding down, but the bounty of the harvest is at your fingertips. Exploit it to decorate your patio with the shades of orange, yellow, bronze, etc. that give autumn displays their unique feel. It is a real treat to be able to appreciate a dazzling fall foliage display from your own patio. Just be careful in your plant selection if you will be growing the tree right near your patio, since, as mentioned earlier, tree roots can damage hard surface patios. Japanese maple trees double as great fall color trees and relatively safe trees to grow around patios. How can you make a patio more usable in winter if you live in the north? Well, in discussing fire pits earlier, I mentioned another major use for them, and this is it: to keep you warm outdoors in the winter, supplemented by dressing properly, of course. Let's take the thought in the prior slide up to another level. Having a wonderful outdoor fireplace like this one on your patio would give you even more incentive to spend time on it in winter. The herringbone is one of the brick patterns commonly used. It is a bit harder to lay than some of the others, partly because it will almost certainly involve some brick cutting. The herringbone pattern has a frenzied look to it and will draw attention to a patio. If it is excitement that you seek, and you have some DIY experience, the herringbone may be for you. Having an outdoor fireplace on the patio may seem extreme to some, but even full outdoor kitchens are becoming more popular. They represent the ultimate in outdoor living, allowing you to both cook and eat your food in the great outdoors, with all the comforts of home. Without some type of furniture, your patio is just an area in the yard to pass through, not a true outdoor room. You need chairs, or at least benches, on a patio so that you can rest while getting a breath of fresh air, reading a book, or dining. Furniture installation is a major step in making this outdoor space more livable, more truly an extension of the home. If you will be spending a lot of time on the patio during the summertime, it is of critical importance that you furnish yourself with some shade. Erecting a pergola structure over your patio is one way to accomplish this. Cover the pergola with something to form a roof so that it can cast shade. Some pergolas have retractable awnings, but nature lovers sometimes prefer to grow vines up their pergolas and let their foliage supply the roofing that will cast much needed shade. Wisteria vines are commonly used for this purpose. Swimming pools often go hand in hand with patios, especially if you live in a hot climate. But that raises the question of how to furnish your patio area with some privacy. Plants are one option, but landscaping around swimming pools is tricky because there are a number of factors to consider to ensure that you get the right plant for the spot. In this slide, a hedge of shrubs supplies the homeowner with privacy. But there are other options for furnishing your patio with privacy besides a conventional hedge, consisting of yew bushes or privet shrubs, for example. Another type of living wall for privacy consists of a looser collection of plants that you allow to grow freely rather than trimming them into a tight hedge. In the slide shown above, the homeowners have chosen bamboo plants to serve this function. Hardscape fencing is another popular choice for achieving privacy around a patio. There are various styles from which to choose. The most visible boards in the wooden fence in this picture have a vertical orientation. Here is another wooden fence used to provide a patio with privacy. But its style is quite different from the one in the prior slide. The prominent supporting posts here call attention to the sturdiness of the structure. Not sure what fence style suits you the most? Check out these fence pictures for ideas. Portable wooden screens such as the ones shown in this picture represent a simpler and less expensive option than does a full fence. If you are really looking to save money, it is easy to build one on your own using lattice. Such a privacy screen further functions as a trellis upon which to grow vine plants. Do not think that the only use for a fence is for privacy or security along a property line. An internal fence such as the one displayed here can help define outdoor spaces, giving a clear sense of the separation of the patio area from another portion of the yard. The presence of the fence makes this patio seem cozier. Divide and conquer is a handy principle to keep in mind when creating outdoor living spaces. The privacy for this pool and patio area is furnished partly by a masonry wall. As a finishing touch, a simple mural has been painted on the wall, suggesting cactus plants. If you are not much of an artist, check online for sources for plant stencils. The running bond is another brick pattern used in outdoor patio construction. In spite of its athletic-sounding name, this pattern strikes the eye as being smoother and has more of a soothing effect on the psyche than does the herringbone previous photo. That effect is perfect for the patio in this picture, a resting place in the middle of a garden. This fence is covered with a plant that, while attractive, also has a negative quality, namely, it is an invasive plant in many areas. It is called English ivy. Invasive plants can cause you headaches. Do your research before you begin growing plants so that you can make wise decisions. A better choice here than English ivy may have been the tamer Boston ivy vine. Patio plantings can turn a ho-hum patio into a nice one and a nice patio into an awesome one. Container gardens are particularly effective on patios. Is your concrete patio showing its age? Does your budget currently preclude investing in a new one? Then dressing your old patio up with plants may be the best solution for the time being. If you are not a green thumb, have little time for plant care, or simply are not in love with growing plants, you may well wonder, should I even bother incorporating plants into my patio plans? Here is one argument that may sway you: plants help soften the harsh, straight lines of a rectilinear patio. But if you are dead set against growing plants, there is another way to take the edge off: build a patio with a rounded edge, as in this photo. Do you adore plants and decor that promote a southwestern theme? Then be sure to include some pots of cacti and succulents on your patio. In this slide, plants serve the purpose of breaking up a large patio, visually. Specifically, the designer created an island bed and planted it with barberry shrubs, etc. Other small shrubs could have done just fine, too, if you dislike barberry. Here is something that neither cactus nor barberry offer your patio: sweet fragrance. The latter is precisely what the owners of this patio have chosen. It is festooned with fragrant flowers. The wonderful smell coming from flowers such as Easter lilies adds to your quality of life on the patio. What floral smells attract you the most? Be certain to include some of them in your patio plantings. The cottage garden is a landscape style that is quite popular. It has a wild but controlled look to it that many gardeners admire. If you will be building your patio in the city or suburbs and want to give it a rustic feel, give it a planting in the cottage garden style. In contrast to the previous slide, which featured a patio with a cottage garden, this one sports a very formal landscape design. This style is less popular but still eye-popping. You have seen a number of pictures in this photo gallery showing scenes of people congregating on a patio, perhaps for a meal or for a party. In some of those pictures, the patios have been accessorized in a sophisticated fashion, culminating in examples of glitzy outdoor kitchens and the like. Moon gardens are characterized by white flowers and other brightly colored blooms, especially those that are fragrant. Why have a moon garden adjacent to your patio? The idea is to achieve a planting that you can appreciate on those warm summer evenings that we talked about earlier. White flowers show up with even just a bit of light, and fragrance is not dependent upon light at all. Like the running bond, the basket weave brick pattern is another that offers a soothing effect. Even more importantly, laying a brick patio in this pattern under the right circumstances can save beginners some work and some frustration. Why? And what are those circumstances? Who wouldn't want a patio with a beach backdrop such as this one boasts? But there is a challenge here, too. If you wish to incorporate plants, some plants tolerate salt well, while others do not. Choose plants wisely. If you have a planting bed adjacent to your patio, make sure to edge it as in this photo if you desire a neat, finished look. Don't overlook ornamental grasses when choosing plants for patio areas. Tall types such as maiden grass, Miscanthus sinensis, are particularly helpful if you are trying to create a secluded patio setting. Here is an interesting look for a patio. The designer has left a grass strip around each of the pavers. The resulting crack sets off the pavers nicely. Here's the trade-off, though: this patio is hardly low maintenance. Why give yourself more mowing work than you already have to do? But it's your call. Speaking of lawn mowing, prior slide, this property has a huge lawn. Some people admire a lush, green lawn, but it comes at a cost, including the maintenance entailed in mowing it. Among its many other virtues, a patio such as this one could save you work. If the space were taken up by additional lawn rather than by the patio, the homeowners would have an even bigger mowing job on their hands. A water feature can add great value to a patio. If you choose to have a fountain, the sound made by the cascading water is very soothing. Here are some fountain styles to consider. As a finishing touch, it is always fun to play around with color. The owner of the patio in this photo clearly has a thing for orange. Patio furniture is one thing, plants are another. Working with plant colors is more complex, but here's some help in choosing a landscape color scheme. How will you be accessing your patio? Will you be using a walkway? Why not choose a material for your walkway, then, that complements the patio? For this flagstone patio, the designer wisely chose a flagstone walkway. In other cases, a stepping stone walkway could work. Here, the patio is accessed via a floating deck, obviating the need for a walkway altogether. In addition to stone and brick, another hard surface option is tile. But it cannot be just any tile. If you find tile elegant and decide to begin planning to lay a tile patio, be sure to emphasize that you need a tile product meant for the outdoors when shopping. Wouldn't you like to grow some of the most colorful trees for fall around your patio? Although they would look great, here is the problem: tree roots can wreak havoc with structures such as flagstone, brick, or tile patios. A better choice may be a patio, made of a material that has some give to it. With an expanse of sand, as in this photo of a Zen garden, there can be no issue of tree roots causing damage, per se, because there isn't anything to break. Here is another type of patio that has some give to it, a gravel patio. As with the sand of the Zen garden pictured in the prior slide, the gravel cannot break when tree roots attack it. As a result, you need to be less wary of growing trees around your patio than you do with hard surface patios. A patio need not be enormous to serve its purpose. If the owners of this patio built it for the purpose of communing with nature, then they could not have asked for anything much better. For one thing, the location is superb. It is tucked into a hillside, forming something of an amphitheater. In spring, the daffodil flowers surrounding it are a great plus. Bulbs such as tulip plants are to spring what fall foliage is to autumn. Make sure you will be able to enjoy some of your favorite spring flowering bulbs from a comfortable seat on your patio. If you live in an urban area and cannot grow the plants in the ground around your patio, simply grow them in containers, as in this photo. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos. And please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm.